4 years ago, I was in a very different position than I am now. I was just beginning to become aware of my sexual orientation, and it scared the shit out of me. And I was so afraid of other people finding out and no longer wanting to be my friend or no longer liking me that I began pushing people away, and I self-sabotaged all meaningful relationships I had, to the point where I no longer had a relationship with my parents, and my friends just became these people I went out with on the weekends and partied with and no longer confided in or felt as though I had any connection to. And I just had a lot of internalized homophobia and self-hate, and I was so ashamed of myself and so guilty for the person that I was. And I was trying so hard to maintain a persona that I'd had since middle school. And I just became very depressed, and I felt very alone and isolated. And in hindsight, it was really dumb. These were all irrational fears. But at the time, they were so well-founded, and the fear was just so real, and the consequences were so real. And it was just something that I couldn't cope with. 3 years ago, my depression reached a level of despondency, and I attempted suicide twice. After my second suicide attempt, my mom took me to get help, and I started seeing a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and I got put on medication. But it was still this big mystery because I still wasn't out, and I didn't come out to my psychologist, I didn't come out to my psychiatrist. I was so afraid of being judged and so afraid of saying it out loud and making it come true. So everyone was still curious as to why this could have happened. And I finally ended up coming out to my parents and some of my friends, and they were so supportive. And it was just a great feeling. And I was so upset with myself for being so afraid and for ruining everything I'd worked so hard to establish. And my fears just seemed so irrational, and I was so upset with myself for not having went to the people that cared about me most for support earlier and taking advantage of the resources that were available to me, like the Trevor Project. And everything just seemed so dumb, and it seemed like I'd wasted so much time. And with the support of my friends and my family, I was finally able to be comfortable with who I am, and it got so much better. My life is great, and it got great because I had the support that I needed, and I explored the different resources available to me. And now
I go to the #1 dream school in the nation, in what has been called the capital of the universe,
where I take some pretty baller courses. Where I've made some of the best friends anyone could ever ask for.
I have a job that I love. I live in the greatest city in the world. A place where I'm finally comfortable being who I am. Not the city, but this point in my life. Free of judgment from others, free of self-hate, free of despondency, full of love, full of hope, full of life. Never looking back unless I'm waiting for and encouraging others. So this is me, looking back at you, telling you I've been there, and promising you it does get better.
Scouts honor.
You have so much to look forward to. New chapters of your life. College, new friends, knowledge, power from that knowledge, love, human connections and lifelong bonds, jobs and internships, careers, happiness,
self-fulfillment,
the opportunity and ability to make a difference, to help others. Times are changing. Hate is dissolving.
Ignorance is losing.
There are so many great opportunities and resources for us out there. You're surrounded by supportive people, groups, and communities who are always there for you, who want you to succeed, who can show you that it does get better and help you on your own journey. You just need to know where to look. At NYU, we have the office, which is established to create a safe space for LGBTQ students and host lots of clubs, events, and guest speakers. with lots of supportive staff, students, community members.
Come visit us.
So get comfortable. Take off your jacket and take off your shoes. Stick around for a while. Settle into your own skin. Be the helping hand and encouraging voice a few years down the line, urging the next generation of LGBTQ youth to stick it out. Realize your dreams.
Don't let anyone make you view yourself as less than you are. And don't let negativity in the media,
On the streets, in school, or at home hold you back. Because there's so much more positivity that goes unrecognized. Let it get better for you too.
but it all has to start with you.
Get familiar with the resources and support that you have. Take advantage of those resources. Become part of the community. Fight hate with love. Fight ignorance with knowledge. Let your voice, your opinion, and your ideas be heard. I know I said I felt so much better when I came out, but that doesn't mean it's the only way for it to get better. Only come out if you're ready, if you're comfortable, if you don't fear for your physical safety at the hands of others or yourself, if you have good coping mechanisms and you don't fear for your emotional or mental well-being.
But don't let me scare you.
A lot of people have great coming out experiences.
Like this guy.
But be prepared for the worst, just for safety reasons. Remember, coming out is a process. You'll come out many times, to many different people, in many different spaces and settings, and maybe even in different ways and for different reasons, throughout your lifetime. So no matter what steps you're ready to take them, because I promise once you do, it'll get so much better. So please, accept my challenge. Consider my testimony.
And those of the millions of other LGBTQ people out there.
Take my advice, and in the future, be there to prove and to promise that it gets better.